Hey, it's Chris with Picks and Sticks Music Studio. In this video, we're going to be interviewing Red Hot Empty. It's a local band in Atlanta. So I'm very excited about that. If you're new to this channel, we're an all things music channel, and we like to support our local artists and bands. And if you want to see more interviews like this, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. And if you enjoy this video, hit the like button. Um, that helps out the channel and helps out the bands that we interview. They get more watch time that way. So this is episode number 32, and I'm very excited to welcome Red Hot Empty to the interview. Let me unmute them and stuff. There's quite a few of them, so it's going to take me a second to do this. And here they all come. All right, I got everybody unmuted. Yeah, looks like it. Well, I really appreciate you guys being here with us tonight. And why don't we get started by introducing yourselves a little bit?
Well, hi, I'm Sarah. Well, how about we go around that order, in the order we are. I'm Sarah, I'm vocals.
I'm Larry, I'm bass.
I'm Mike, and I play drums.
I play guitar. Ben, I'm Ben over here.
Ben also does vocals.
I sing.
Yes.
Awesome. Let's start off with the icebreaker question. What is your favorite decade for punk music?
This one's on you, Ben, because I say 70s, 80s, and 90s. I can't choose one. So.
Well, everything I learned came from the 90s, so I always just say 90s punk, like that one Misfits album that came out in the 90s, you know? So,
yeah,
the 90s.
That's when that's when the sound started like coming together, at least for my ears. The heavier stuff started sounding really well produced, and you could hear everything. That's probably where I'm at with it.
Yeah, for me it would have been all the stuff in the 80s, I guess going into the 90s, like Lookout Records and Discord and all that stuff from Minor Threat and all Descendants, all that type of stuff. That was my jam during that time.
I hear that. I like a lot of like the hardcore.
Seconds. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, Bad Brains. I love Bad Brains.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when I was in the 80s, primarily I listened to whatever my mom had on, though, right? So it was like a lot of your Paula Abdul and like
Michael Jackson.
What's that band, Flock of Seagulls and stuff like that.
Nice. Scott, our moderator, Scott Reeves, he's in here, and ask Sarah, Larry, Ben, and Mike of Red Hot Empty your questions here in the chat window, and we'll answer those. We love listeners' questions because they're always better than mine, as I always say.
Yeah.
Couple updates real quick on the channel. So we have an interview next week. The interview is with Olivia Faye. She's a singer-songwriter from Nashville, and she was also on last season of American Idol. They're looking forward to that. This interview, it will be time-stamped. Sometimes it takes me 2 or 3 days to do it. So if you're listening to this interview after the fact, I will be time-stamping this. And by the end of the night, I should have all the band links down in the description where you can click on those. They're not there right now, but I will add those, I promise. So awesome. So how'd you come up with the name?
All right, this one's on me. So Red Hot Empty is like, it's like an emotion you feel. You know what I'm saying? Right. I don't know if that makes sense to y'all. It's
oh yeah.
This is like Red Hot Empty is what I do with that emotion, with that deep void that we kind of all have. We got to do something with it. You got to make art with it. So
you can feel colors. That's kind of the gist of it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we all have that void. We got to fill it with something. So might as well be like angry art,
Right.
Did one person come up with the name? Or was this a whole band?
Yeah, that was Sarah.
Okay.
Yeah, they just let me pick it out. They're nice to me. I don't know.
It was a good one. We needed a name, and she picked a good one.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's always nice to, like, when you search bands, sometimes if they're like too similar to other bands, you get like, ton of stuff, and this one like pops right up immediately.
Well, we're up against the Red Hot Chili Peppers, though. You see.
But there's no the. That's.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. We slipped it by on.
Yeah.
But even when I just
You're wasting time with these and A's and stuff like that, man. We just Red Hot.
Time for that kind of stuff.
And there's bands that are sensitive about that too. If they're named something that doesn't have the, you say the in front of it, they're like, we're not the.
I got you. I mean, if you want to call us the Red Hot Empty, I'm fine with that too.
Yeah.
Call us whatever you want. Just give us a call.
Yeah.
Oh, I did a search on Spotify, and yours was the first one to come up. And
Nice.
awesome.
Peppers were second. So.
There we go.
And I didn't even finish typing it. I just typed Red Hot, and it came up. Awesome. So how did the band form?
Basically, I just kind of picked up a guitar. Well, the trick is, you ever been to Ruby Falls?
I know what. I know what it is. I just haven't been there yet.
We kind of met there, and we have like this shared love of going to Ruby Falls. And you know that moment where the lights come on and it's like, and then you see the waterfall? We looked around and there we were. With instruments in hand, and that was just kind of, we took it from there.
And we just started making music from that moment on. I like to tell everyone that we went to high school together. Some people don't believe me. I don't know why, but.
Oh, it's probably our age differences, I think. Maybe
That's so much younger than everybody else.
Mike was slow to get through his years.
I was very advanced.
He made grade 10, and that was it. He got his grade 10. He wears a patch on his arm. Is what it is.
But really, me and Ben have been friends since like third grade and have just known each other forever, and we just kind of grew up messing around with instruments and have played music off and on here and there, and then this is where we're at now with it.
Yep, I met them at a show playing music, and then I started making music with them, and then Ben actually reached out to Mike and found Mike, and Mike is Mike's the best. We love Mike.
We found him under a bridge.
So they were the Wilcox Wang Success Module, was that right?
Yeah.
That was the previous, or at least, I mean, they've been in bands, whatever, but that was the previous. And then, when they found me, that was kind of, they decided it was time to make a switch because of Sarah and me were kind of the newbies on here, and it was time to switch it up a bit.
Yeah.
Nice. Now people are starting to join, and quite a few people in here. If you have questions for the band, let's put them in the chat here. Scott Reeves is our moderator. He'll help us out with those.
Suddenly, I feel like I'm performing now, right? There's somebody in here. Hello.
That's awesome. So who are some of your biggest influences?
So I'll let you go first, Ben.
Me. We'll start with me. We'll go with me to Mike. Pass it to Mike.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, for me, like, I love, it's cliche at this point, but I really do love a lot of everything. It just kind of has to be good, and I define good as being like original sounding. And so for me, like bands like Acid Bath, progressive metal like Porcupine Tree, rap like friggin' the Dayton Family, if anyone remembers them. But I love it all. So my influences is everything, and I'm passing it to Mike.
I mean, mine's not that far from Ben's. As far as like, over the years, it started out with a lot of punk and rock, and then it transferred to jazz for a while, a lot of world rhythms and stuff like that. But I mean, even this week, I was I got turned on to T-Bone Burnett or something like that, and I was listening to him this week, and it's all over the map. Of course, a lot of bands that have great drummers, anything with a great drummer, I'm into. So
yeah, the good drummers where it's at.
Oh yeah.
And we'll probably add some questions about that too. I usually, when I have whole bands in here, I'll ask individual questions.
What about you, Larry? I know you've got some influences.
Well, I've always been kind of like a metalhead, kind of just a hardcore heavy music kind of kid, but I also really like kind of the opposite end of the spectrum. I like a lot of really like wacky stuff. Like Mr. Bungle is a band I've been listening to probably a big part of my life. I like them a lot, and I listen these days. I've actually been listening to a lot of like Japanese metal bands, like baby metal and stuff like that. I don't know. I like to be energetic. I like upbeat. I like moving. You know.
Hell
So
yeah.
yeah, just anything hard and heavy and fast and fun is right up my alley.
Yeah, I like a little bit of everything too. I'm really influenced by a unique vocalist. I really like Jello Biafra. I like his vibrato. I like that he sounds different. I really like Krista Cameron from I Wrestled a Bear Once. So I have a lot of like strong female influences that I like, but I was also like really inspired by System of a Down growing up. They always like to say something, and it's cool to try and say something with your music too. So
That was going to be my individual question to you: is what are some of your top female artists, singers? But you answered it, so that's awesome.
Yeah, well, Maria Brink from In This Moment's a good one. There's Krista Cameron from I Wrestled a Bear Once. I was really inspired a lot by, I listened to stuff like Guano Apes and L7 and stuff like that growing up. Brody, angry women inspire me.
What about you, Ben? Did you influences?
What about me?
Yeah, guitar influences.
Oh, my bad. Sorry, I couldn't hear you for a second. Guitar is really an interesting question. Buckethead primarily is probably my main guy. And then obviously when I was coming up, Pantera was pretty big, and that guy could really play. And anything that combines technical virtuosity with a good feel for emotion inspires me.
Does that mean you have a arcade button for your cutoff switch?
No, not yet. I really don't have much money. Otherwise, I'd have all this geeky guitar stuff. I really would. It'd be out of hand.
How about you, Mike? Your influences on drums?
I think the first one really was like Dennis Chambers. Anyone that was like a fusion player. I was into Jeff Hamilton. He was a jazz player that played with Ray Brown Trio early on. And then it went to like Will Calhoun, The Living Colour. Matt Cameron's been a lifelong one. And then, I'm not much into like speed chops, death metal, double bass type stuff. It's got to have some musical part to it and groove, so Clyde Stubblefield, anything with like James Brown and the Meters. But then if you start rocking some of that stuff out, anyone in that, Living Colour, Fishbone, those type drummers. So
Hell yeah.
We got a question coming in, but let's get one more bass and see. Favorite melodic bass line.
Favorite melodic bass line. You put me on the spot, man. It's hard for me. I'm drawing a blank here.
I got one.
There's so many.
Larry does it.
There's this one that. Have you ever heard of a band called Blotted Science?
Heard the name, but I don't know their music.
They got this song called Synaptic Plasticity, and it's got this bass line that's really, really intense and weird. I don't know. I've been watching this guy play it over and over again a lot. I don't know.
I'll have to check that out.
Hell yeah.
All right, we got a question here. Speaking of saying something with your music, you all have a song called Four Cops that's based on a pretty important moment in American history.
Yeah, that's true. So that's my friend Reno. Hi, Reno. Thank you for watching. I was just talking with her earlier about this song, and it's based on what happened with George Floyd. How there are 4 cops on the scene that didn't do anything. You want to say anything, Ben?
Well, the main thrust of it is that really people should intervene. I think we should expect that much at least out of people. And so it became an opportunity to write like one of these kind of chant anthems. Like it's a certain kind of song where you could actually maybe hopefully get the crowd to bip along with you. But I think it's good. I think it's people say don't get political, but like kind of everything is, regardless of whether you like it to be or not. So you might as well lean into it, right?
Right. That's awesome. We got another question here. Skydiver Joey Beth.
It's Joey. I know him.
What motivates each of you to be in a band? I personally love playing live, and that motivates me, but haven't got to record or put out an album with anyone.
Sweet. I want to check out your music when you do. I know there's a lot that inspires me to be in a band, but number 1 is to have fun, and number 2 is to have like something positive to do with your emotions. You know, something that like other people can identify with, and something that says something and matters.
To me, it's definitely not money. Anyone out there?
No,
You're not gonna make a whole lot.
Matt.
You may get like $100 to do a show, and you know that feels pretty good and everything, but that's not why you would do it. I think you got a few different types of bands that do it for different reasons. You got your bands that want to like gig on Saturday night at like the place in Marietta, and maybe they're a cover band and they're the ones getting $200 a night, and that's it for them. And then you got like, for me, I like to consider it to be like an art form, and so as an artist, I like the concept of like an album as being something like a painting. And so like a painter would do, you would have all your paintings. And so the reason you would be in a band is to be able to write this music so that you can have the album. And then being able to perform in shows and stuff is just like the icing on the cake and everything. And by the way, I'm pretty lucky because it's really hard to get like 4 people that can agree on anything. So it's a nice thing. That's what people motivate me to be in a band.
That's it.
Yeah, just, you know, I'd kind of echo what Ben's saying, but the creative process, and it's a moment in time, right? So, you know, you're capturing that moment of, you know, the people that you're with, and you're creating that. So I look back at, you know, other bands and stuff that I was in the past, and it's just, you look back and it's just that music, that time, you know, that things that are going on around you. That's what I love about, you know, the original music and the people that I've, you know, always played with, and being with Red Hot Empty. It's just like, I love all the people, but I love the creative process, and so it is about recording, creating those songs, seeing us come together and in 4 minds, and creating this one, you know, I don't know, magical song, if you want to call it. But then taking that and then playing live is more about just hanging out with your friends and just chilling. I mean, to me, that's fun. That's just everything's done. Now you're just having fun.
Yeah.
And, you know, when you're playing originals too, you're putting yourself out there, which is.
Yeah, it's a big
Yeah,
thing.
originals is where, I mean, to me personally, that's what I was talking about a minute ago is if you're an artist, you're really looking to write originals and perform originals and everything.
Right.
But like a musician, which I sincerely appreciate anyway, right? If you see it, you can go see a guy performing some standards and he's just doing it really well, and I love that. But I think that's the page we're on. Right. We would like to consider ourselves artists to a degree.
Even if it's not as good as what they're doing. Like if it's ours.
Oh yeah, if it's not as good, that's wonderful actually.
I mean, a lot of these, you know, like Scott does, you know, covers on weekends and stuff, but he does his own music as well. And you know, John Wong, same thing. He's doing covers on the weekend, but he's putting out music too. But it's harder for solo people to do what you guys do, you know. But even you can still put out music as a solo person.
Oh, 100%.
You already got a band.
All right, let's talk about your album. That's what you're here for, and that's what we're going to be playing one of the songs off of it. So you want to talk about this new album?
Larry?
Well, the album is called Corridors. It's been in the works for a very long time. We actually finished it up quite a while back, but we just now finally got around to getting everything together and out with it. It's the first original stuff that we've done as a band, us four in this configuration, and it's kind of the next evolution of what me and Ben were doing before. It's really good. I think it's got a cool concept. I think that Sarah has kind of thought up in her mind, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
It's good stuff. It is a good album. I think so. And I like music, so hey, maybe I'm right.
Yeah, so
it's got a lot going on. It's got something for everybody. I mean, it's got fast, heavy stuff, and there's some slow, interesting stuff.
How long did it take to record?
So we did that over. Go ahead, Sarah.
I was gonna say a few months. The hardest part about recording, I think, was just me trying to get like vocals down. They got everything else pretty quickly.
Yeah, she was kind of like she was learning along the way how to record vocals. Really.
Yeah, this is my first time recording. You know, I had been, you know, like Mike said, I had been in Wilcox Wing with these guys beforehand, but this is my first time recording anything. This album, I feel like, is really, we all put a little piece of ourselves into it, but it's really, a lot of it's born out of Ben's heart. So it was fun to be able to create this with him. The name Corridors comes from, feels like a entry way. You know, whenever you read a book, it's a storybook word, you know, you enter the corridors. So it's an entrance to like everything exciting to come for us. You know, this is just the beginning. We've got so much more to come after this. So
that's awesome.
Each song is like a door, you see. You open it up.
Yeah.
and then you step inside. And there's the world of that song.
I totally understand what she's saying, though. That's awesome kind of metaphor.
But we kind of hit the ground running. I mean, when Ben got in touch with me and we had our first practice, I mean, I feel like it was like 2 weeks later we were starting to record the album. I mean, it was like Ben and Larry. I mean, they had a good number, you know, at least half the songs already in their head. We just needed to like fill it out with drums and vocals. And then we really got a lot of it done pretty quickly. So this album, a lot of it, we play a lot of this even differently these days because this was really recorded in our first couple months of being together.
Right.
But, yeah. And we're already like halfway through the next one. So
yeah,
but it's still, we're playing these songs live and they're just exciting to go back and listen to. And there's even a couple songs we decided not to put on the album for saving for something else. So, but yeah, it really just kind of like, it was very easy to record this album, the music part of it, and then to get Sarah comfortable with what the songs were and finally figure out where she felt comfortable on them.
Right.
That took another couple months. So.
Oh, before we play this, any shout outs to anybody when you're from making the album, like studios or anything like that? Or
shout out to Analog.
Yeah.
Analog Revolution. You guys are awesome. Yeah.
They're a record company that's up in LJ. They're like an independent label. It's all do-it-yourself style stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And
all kind of stuff.
Yeah, been around for years, and so they helped us out. We got like this whole big box of tapes from them and stuff. So everything's going good on that front.
Yeah, help me lay some sick vocals.
Yeah, they got a studio up there and everything. Everything's great.
A whole maker space with all kind of 3D printers and laser cutters and stuff. It's wild. It's a really cool place.
A wonderland.
That's awesome.
Oh, so hey, you're about to play Escape.
Yep. You want to talk about it a little bit before we play it?
Yeah, sure. Escape is a funny thing. I find that when writing music and lyrics, especially, everything seems to be with they kind of go with like a theme of like "let me out of here," right? Which like, what does that say? But like, Escape kind of became like, I need to stop writing songs about escaping, so I'm just gonna have one just called Escape. And it's also my attempt at like what would be more of a thrash metal thing. So it's the more thrashy song on the album. And I wanted to say too before that, this album's done. Definitely check it out. But we're knocking out a 4 song EP, and okay, just trust me. The next stuff will be cool too. But this stuff's also
so sick.
This
Our
song's
plan
called
is to become more unhinged with each album, you know.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Well, we're gonna play this. I'm gonna mute every one of you. That way, we don't get any background noise while it's playing. I forgot to test this out before we went live. So, Mike, if you can do me a favor, as soon as if you can hear the music playing once I start playing it, just give me a thumbs up.
All right.
Oh, sorry. Hi. Wrong button. It's so hard because there's so many of you in here that it makes me scroll down to do this. Never can ever catch it right in the middle. That's awesome, guys. I love that song. I've listened to your album a couple times.
Awesome.
I got one more to unmute.
Welcome back.
All right, everybody's unmuted. No, that's awesome. That might be my I've been listening to them all together, and like I really kind of gravitated to Interstate a little bit, but
Yeah, it's
that
nice.
one's pretty good too, though. I really like that one.
Thanks.
Oh, yeah.
And we have to also thank Dr. Death Ray, who mixed this, who's part of Analog Revolution, but she really took it over the finish line for us. So.
Right. Wesley, thank you for the comment about the show.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank you,
thanks,
Wesley.
And Reno, thank you for the comment as well.
Reno.
But yeah, so your writing process, how do you guys typically go about that? Do you guys usually start off with the vocals first, or like the lyrics, or the music first, or?
So, go ahead, Ben.
Yeah, Ben.
Well, it used to be I would take a bath, and then you would just kind of hum to yourself. You would kind of just hum a tune, and then you'd get out of the tub, and you go to your guitar, and you would just transpose that tune to the guitar, and you got your chords, and then from there you got your whole song. And I found that was my way that I could be a songwriter. Like that was my trick to it, because I don't really know a lot of theory or anything like that, really.
So do bath salts help or anything? Or?
No.
Oils?
The bath bomb would be more distracting, I think. But now it's a different process because Sarah's writing lyrics and stuff, so her lyrics are better than what I was doing.
Oh,
so now I'm free to like kind of write guitar without having to worry about, well, what is the melody of this going to be? I can just have the blueprint and then just hand it to her and let her do her thing.
And she's still like young and full of energy and like positivity and stuff.
I got a little bit of energy left, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how long did that song take to write, the Escape?
Oh, I had that riff kind of bipping around for a while. That was going to be on some kind of solo thing if I was ever going to do that. And when we started to do this album, I was like, well, I need a song. Let's do it. Here it is. It was already kind of wrote. This was one of those that was already kind of done coming into it.
Right.
Yeah, we've had a pretty unique writing process because we've had songs that Ben has come to us with and been like, I have this song. We've had songs where Ben said, I have just this guitar part. What can we add to it? We'll add lyrics and drums, bass. We've done it like every way possible. Larry's got a song he's written bass first that we're working on right now. And there's a song we're working on right now called Burden that I came up with the lyrics before anything. And we kind of like wrote the music from there. So I'm just very grateful to have bandmates that are open to such a creative writing process.
Yeah, it's a nice thing.
Yeah.
There's no diva here. Hey, by the way, there's no diva. There's no like, I'm the star here and it's all about me.
That's awesome. And I'm going to be doing, I mentioned it probably two or three shows back, and I still want to do the video. I think it was last year, I did a local band riffs or whatever, and I put together a video of their favorite riff that they played in their band. And I put a video, small little segments of each band. But I want to do one for female vocals. So
that'd be cool.
So you're definitely on the list. So,
awesome.
So start thinking about that. Which
Sweet.
Your favorite one would be that you would submit, and I'm probably just going to do like 10 local bands that have female front women. So
cool.
That's
awesome.
There's quite a bit of good ones out there that rock. So
yeah, there's a ton now.
It's a good thing to see, man.
Absolutely.
It's good to see it.
Yeah.
Didn't used to see it quite as much.
Yeah, there's quite a bit. Cool. So, future, you already kind of touched on it about new music. So, you just came out with this one, and I'm already digging on it. Now you're already talking about another one coming out. I can't wait.
Well, the next one, I'll just say a few things about it. format is a lot. Format is a big part of the art here. So, like for example, this is out on a cassette right now.
Mm-hmm.
So the next one, it's going to be a vinyl, and it's going to be a 7-inch. And I realized that you could only really fit 2 songs on a side of this thing.
Right.
So I was like, okay, a 4-song EP, and so the EP is not like a mixed genre kind of thing. It's basically all just kind of like heavy hitters, and it's not going to really hold much back. But you'll have to buy it on a vinyl, or it'll be streaming at some point. But
No, that's awesome. The vinyl part. That's really cool. That's really cool. The tape was kind of cool too, though. But
tape's a good idea. Tapes are coming back. Like no one buys a CD as much now, but someone would buy a tape just for the novelty.
right.
Oh, let me buy this tape. How funny, a tape. But then you have tape enthusiasts. I'm not saying there's not. I'm not saying it's a joke.
Right. A little side
People love
tangent.
to collect stuff.
Side tangent on tapes though. Like I'm going through, like, my parents both passed away like in 2020, and so we've been like going through the house, and it's a lot of stuff to go through. But they had a whole bunch of old tapes, and I'm like, crap.
Oh, wow.
But they're all like where they were passing tapes back and forth through the mail, like to my like uncle, to my mom, and they would just record stuff and send it.
Oh, that's
Nice.
awesome.
That was always the best.
But I was like, how am I going to play this? I don't have a tape player. So luckily, my parents still had the old, the dual one where you could dub back and forth, and so I rack unit, and I took that home. But it's gonna. So I got to buy your tape and play it on my tape player.
There you go.
And it goes to my speakers and everything in here, so it'll sound really good.
You can find it on our Instagram. Get the tape. Get yours today.
Awesome.
Yes.
What are your future goals?
Future goals. That's a wonderful question. I just want to continue to make music. And I know we probably all have our own idea that we incorporate and bring to the table with the band. But I always like the idea of a lot of bands get more cohesive as they go on, and they become a little bit more commercialized. And I kind of don't want to do that. I want to always be like true to what we want to make, and I want every album to be heavier than the last one.
Nice. Any other things like playing out anywhere and stuff like that, or?
What about you
There's
guys?
some places in Alabama I want to play. But other than that, like we've played just about everywhere we would want to. We have shows coming up every month, basically, and so I guess the vision or the goal would be just to kind of keep getting more eyes on it, get more people seeing us.
Fill up some stadiums one day.
If you could play anywhere in Atlanta in the next, say, 6 months, where would it be?
What do you guys think?
Well, Ben had always wanted to play the Star Bar, but I think we got a show coming up there now.
Yeah, Star Bar is cool.
I guess if we were ever at like Masquerade level, that'd be pretty incredible.
We're beyond the Masquerade level, to be fair. We just haven't played there yet. I mean, honestly, like, check it out. Like the places you want to play are like Boggs and like the places we've been playing, like Sabbath and Inner Space and places like that, like Drunken Unicorn. These are the places that if you're a legit band, you'll end up playing. Masquerade, Sabbath is great.
They're always so awesome.
Yeah.
Reno, I'm trying to see Red Hot.
Hey, just hey, yo, Reno. Hey, just send them an email. Just send them an email.
Just tell them. Request us.
Just tell them Red Hot Empty. We're on their level. I know it.
Oh yeah.
Like, open the door. Let us in. What are you waiting for?
I made a little bit.
We have arrived.
How about the next year, like Tabernacle or?
Sure, let them.
Those are definitely like that. I mean, we grew up going to those places, you know. Like,
I mean, I would love to open up for some big bands. I know we kind of sound like vague with our expectations, but I hope that comes across as how open we are to opportunity, and not that we don't have any ambition. Like we've got all kinds of goals in the future. We're just also really open to anything that like comes into our lives and welcomes us. You know, we're just kind of like here for a good experience. You know.
Yeah, and I think that goes back to really, I mean, the shows are the kind of icing on the cake. I think we enjoy just the weekly hangout where we just jam, write music, record music, just jam, work on songs. And then if we've got a great show coming up, hey, that's awesome. But, you know, it's not the end all, be goal, whatever. Right? End all, be all to, you know, have this huge show. But we'd love to do more huge shows. But they've been coming like ever since this band's been together. It's just kind of like snowballed from just the writing, the recording, the shows, and people asking us to be on shows. So we feel like it's going to keep continuing, but there's not like, we don't know what to expect. It's just, it is what it is.
I've noticed the like the little benefit concerts and stuff little towns do, where they'll do like some kind of benefit thing. They'll have like 10 bands, you know, on an open stage outside and stuff. That picks up a lot of traction just because you're getting people that you normally wouldn't, you know, be coming to, you know, Smith's Old Bar and places like that. You get a bigger audience, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Those are pretty fun to go to, but
benefits are good too because you're doing something good.
Right.
It's not just playing a show; it's playing a show for something that's like dear to your heart, and that's always awesome.
You know, we've played a lot of benefits actually. The homeless benefit and the abortion rights, and then there was the like battered women kind of deal.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Nice. Okay, let's talk about your info and stuff. Where can people find your music?
Bandcamp, Spotify, and I would suggest following us on Instagram. We all like to regularly update the Instagram and stay up to date on that. Always posting new shows and new exciting events, albums, etc. to come up.
Right.
And what about you, Mike? I know you've got some. Let's promote your drum stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the music. I mean, definitely all Red Hot Empty stuff. You know, on Bandcamp and, but also, yeah, with Instagram, like we recorded part of a practice today that you'll probably, if you guys follow us, you'll see something the next day or two, some stuff. But then I have a lot of my own music and stuff on onedrummerdrumming.com, which has some of my solo stuff. Plus, you know, I keep up videos of Red Hot Empty and where we're playing and all that good stuff. So
nice. And I will, as soon as this is over, I'm going to get on and start putting the links in and stuff. And I'll put your Instagram, your YouTube channel, Bandcamp, Spotify, and I'll put Mike's stuff in there as well.
Awesome. I think we have a Facebook. I don't use Facebook, so that's up to these guys to let you know about that.
I tagged you on a couple of things on Facebook. Yeah, so you have a Facebook. I'll do that one too.
Cool.
The trick is just to type Red Hot Empty into any search bar, and maybe something will come
Anywhere
up.
where you can type it.
Anywhere you can type those words, try it out. Why not?
Nice.
But yeah, we don't have at least at this point, I know that's something Larry's working on. We don't have a website for the band. It's really just off of social media at this point.
You don't need them nowadays. Yeah, it's all your website is your Instagram.
Social. Yeah.
I mean, that's it.
People, use like Linktree, and that's their website, you know, or something like that. But you know, yeah. So everybody subscribe to their YouTube channel, follow them on Spotify and Instagram and all that good stuff. And if you don't mind, hit the like button down below. And if you want to see more interviews like this, definitely subscribe to my channel. We do these, I don't know, a couple times a month at least. You know, I might skip a week here and there, but we do quite a bit of these shows. This is number 33, and I continue to want to do these. And Scott Reeves is helping out on these always. So, but
Thanks, Scott.
Thank you, Scott. We really appreciate all your help.
I really appreciate you guys being here on this channel with me, and this was a great interview, and I look forward to seeing this new EP coming out even though I'm going to be enjoying this one for a little while.
Hey, let me just say, people like you are the heart of what music is. So thank you for doing what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us, man.
And you guys have any last minute shout outs you want to do or anything?
Come see us Tuesday. So the Inner Space, 2 days from now. Come see us down at Underground Atlanta. We're playing
Tuesday night down at Underground Atlanta.
Yeah.
If you don't have anything
Yep.
to
7
do,
p.m.
skip work the next day, you can come and see us.
And
also
don't quote me. I think it's free. I think it's a free show.
We have a show coming up in February as well at the Legion in Ackworth, which is a little bit smaller, but that one's very close to my heart because it's where I met Ben and Larry. So
That's
I'm
gonna be a
super
hell of a
excited for that.
show.
And I love everyone we're playing with too.
Yes, Triangle Fire will be there, which is awesome.
Yep.
Thanks,
And
Wesley.
Opal.
Yeah, and follow their Spotify. I mean, their Instagram if you want to see where they're playing and stuff. They'll post it there. So
awesome.
All right. Well, I appreciate it, and everybody, thank you for watching. And go straight home.
All right. Thank you, Chris.
Bye.